Yeah. What the bloody hell happened? Meghan and Harry were hit by an embarrassing new blow. It has been another week of bad news for the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy as their Hollywood fortunes continued to seriously falter. Hello, and a very warm welcome back to LVT YouTube channel. Oh, well, I guess it's time to put away that glamorous silk gown. It's time to lock up all the Harry Winston diamonds, and also that new pair of Aquazzura heels is not necessary. And some kind of reverse Cinderella story. Last week, the news came out that a certain prince and princess are not going to be going to a particular ball. Of course, I am talking about Harry and Meghan. They're not going to be attending the Emmys. The nominations for TV's Night of Nights came out and revealed that the two of them had missed out on a nod for their Netflix docu-series. HBO's 100 Feet Wave, National Geographic Secrets of the Elephants and The Amazing 1619 Project were all among those recognized by the awards. But Meghan and Harry's creatively titled Harry and Meghan docu-series simply did not get recognized. And this bad news is just the latest. And a whole lot of bad news that has been coming their way. They've been facing a lot of criticism and snub lately. And so here we are, only 3.5 years after they ran away to the US, and their Hollywood careers are appearing to have come to an end. But even so, the fact that Meghan and Harry show didn't get a nomination for the Emmys shouldn't detract from the eye-popping, record-setting popularity of the show, right? I mean, after all, right after the release of the first volume in early December of last year, Netflix started announcing that it was the most-watched documentary debut in its first week ever, that it racked up 81.55 million hours watched. Oh, well, now it's time for me to share another piece of bad news with you. As it turns out, Meghan and Harry's almost 6-hour-long series is reportedly not, in fact, the most-watched documentary on the platform. Instead, it comes in second place. Well, it looks like they are spares yet again. Oh, fate. How cruel you are. This week, Tom Sykes, who works the Daily Beast, reported that the Tinder swindler is, in fact, understood to hold the #1 spot as Netflix's biggest non-fiction offering now. Back in April of this year, Netflix revealed that swindler wrapped up an astounding 166 million hours watched in its first 28. Well, folks, I suggest you get comfortable about right now, because recapping even just the past couple of months of Meghan and Harry related, his is quite the endurance sport. Things started to really go south for Meghan, and Harry went back in May. The phrase near-catastrophic car chase entered their lexicon. It should have just been a nice night out for the two of them, with Meghan accepting some shiny new award. But instead, that news story was overshadowed by claims that Meghan and Harry had been relentlessly pursued by a ring of highly aggressive paparazzi. It was all incredibly dramatic, except the problem was this particular characterization of events didn't quite fit with the New York Police Department and the city mayor's accounts. And then in June, we heard the news that Meghan and Harry were parting ways with Spotify. And apparently the divorce wasn't very amicable. So in that, they were forced to say goodbye to whatever portion of their reported $29 million contract. They hadn't been paid yet. And they had to say Cena, to any power or influence of podcasting, had once offered them. And just think about it. What other entertainment format would pay for Meghan to spend 12 hours of airtime offering up stuff, like some days I have complete clarity, and the next day I feel different? Or how about are you being a person in the world in the most nuanced and real way? Or probably my favorite, I can't function today without being present, or also beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing there is a field. What in the world does any of that mean? In the 2.5 years of the Spotify and Sus relationship, the only series they managed to release was Meghan's Archetype series. And that whole series was basically just a bunch of nonsensical woke word salad. So far we've got the Bill Simmons hit. We've got the Spotify hit and the Emmy hit. Okay, don't worry. You can stop and take a little break. We've got more to talk about. Then came the information about Meghan and Harry's work in Bloomberg. And then later on in the Wall Street Journal. It's important to know that these are not British tabloid outlets. So it's not like Meghan and Harry could dismiss them as having some kind of malicious agenda. Now, the former came out to report that Harry come up with an idea that was so ridiculous. It really defies the bounds of language. Mostly he was talking about interviewing homicidal warmonger Vladimir Putin and then Donald Trump about their traumatic childhood experiences. I mean, just think how ridiculous that would have been if it actually happened. The Journal also reported that Netflix, Meghan and Harry's #1 paymaster, is unlikely to renew their contract when it comes to an end in 2025. And then next up, it was a son's term. They reported that approximately $76 million that's left of Meghan and Harry's $145 million TV deal was on the line. An industry source spoke with the paper saying the remainder of the deal relies on them producing those good ideas. The deal's continually under review, which is normal for ones of this magnitude. Then in late June, when the Cannes Festival rolled around, A-Pop United Talent Agency CEO Jeremy simmered to talk about Meghan and Harry, too. During an interview, he said that Meghan is useless. Well, in July, things looked like maybe they were getting better when it was announced that the Hollywood Critics Association's TV Award had nominated Harry and Meghan for Best Streaming Non-Fiction Series. But things are not always what they might appear to be. That association only goes back to 2016. And originally, it was known as the Los Angeles Online Film. The fact is, the whole thing is brand new. The award show has only been happening since 2021. It's not like we're really talking about a prestigious outfit in this case. So to put it mildly, what in the world has happened with the two of them? Back in 2020, we heard Meghan and Harry were signing